Morning everybody. Maybe that reflection won't be so bad, but I'm building some feed shims and some extension shims. The extension part of it will be for medium boxes. If I run out of deep boxes, I made these 3 inches tall, and mediums are 6 5/8 inches tall, and deeps are 9 5/8 inches. So I made these 3 inches. That way I can throw a medium high body on if I want to run deep frames. And it may be a little overkill for a feed shim. You know, that's a lot of space in there, but I wanted to make it kind of a dual purpose spacer or feeding shim. And I just ripped my boards, you know, 3 inches on the table saw, cut them to length on the miter saw, and then I run a rabbet joint with a dado blade on each end. And when I glue and nail these together, that'll give me the total length required, which I think is 20 inches. Is kind of a ballpark, depending on what manufacturer you buy your hive bodies from. I noticed the width changes also. So I made these the width of Man Lake hive bodies, which these are 9 5/8 inches for the 5-frame nooks, and the 8-frame equipment that I run, it can be anywhere from 13 7/8 to 14 inches or 13 3/4. It just depends on who made it, and I made these 14 inches. I think I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't know if you can see in the camera or not. Let me move this to the other side. I was wanting to show you how it was warped, and part of that reason is it's been tore here and pulled to one side. I don't know if I can ever get this straight, and I don't know if I want to. I'll be lucky to get this pulled back where I can weld it, but it's an old bucket. It's not like I need it to do a job every day. I just wanted a wider bucket to dig out some field dirt and to put in a couple of culverts. I don't know, I could probably get that done with that narrow bucket on the backhoe before I ever get this thing where I could use it. Well, I wanted to get you out here where you can see. This is what it looks like with the spacer underneath the medium hive body. It will give you the height of a deep box. And I got some wax on this one, so it's setting up a little higher, but it's same height. So if you run out of deep hive bodies, you can use your deep frames in here and have your correct bee space in between the other hive or the other box. And that's it's not something, you know, that I'm going to use all the time. Like I said, it's just a spacer or a feeding shim. I could slap this on top of a deep or a medium, and put my sugar cakes in here for emergency feeding, or if I wanted to put some pollen patties or something like that. And there's the medium frame, and we're going to be doing some re-waxing of some of these that the wax moth's got a hold of. And I pressure washed the nasty mess off of them and left them with a blank. There's no coating on it at all, so the bees will not be interested in it till I get some wax coating on it. And I won't, I mean, I'm not in a rush to put the wax on. But, anyway, I just thought I'd give you all an idea if you're wanting to make a shim, and if you run deeps and mediums, if you run mediums for honey supers, you have extra honey supers, and you run low on deeps for swarms and splits. You know, this little shim right here, you can slap it under one of your honey supers and go ahead and throw your deep frames in there. And I didn't bring a nucleus hive body. There's a deep in the shop, but I didn't. Well, there's a medium in there too, but it's piled up with stuff. But it worked the same way on a nucleus hive box as these would on your mediums. And like I said, if you're running deep hive bodies and you need to do some emergency feeding, you know, just throw your shim on top of it, put your feed in here. Just wanted to clue you in on the little thing I'm doing for my bee operation. Another thing, if you buy all your wooden wetware, try to stick with one company. Not you know. There seems to be some different dimensions between companies, and this is one example. This was one of the first hive bodies I purchased, and it is 13 3/4 width. Now I run all 8 frame equipment. It would be wider for 10 frame equipment, but this one here is a man lake, and it's 14 inches. So you're talking about a 1/4 inch difference. And you can't get your gig line straight on different width boxes. Gig line, it's a military term. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. But you can see over on this side, there's a 1/4 inch gap between the edge of this top box and this bottom box. You know, and to make it look halfway decent, you kind of have to split the difference, and you know, nothing ever looks like it's straight when you look at it. So you know, you're talking about your inside dimension is going to be different by a 1/4 inch also. This one's going to be a little tighter on the sides of your frames there. This bottom box gives you a little bit of wiggle room to pull that first frame out without mashing bees. Said I really don't have a problem with excess comb being drawn on the outer edges. I wish somebody would tell me where I put my small framing square, speed square. I've got a little Chinese one, but I hate this thing. Look at the difference in the thickness of these. I mean, this is paper thin. I don't trust it. If I can find that little Mimi, I'm going to show you a little picture with tape measures. And, I've looked all over the shop for my small made in USA speed square, and I cannot find it. I've looked in all of my vehicles. I don't know where it went. This is a plywood bottom board, even after it was painted. Plywood. I don't like plywood.